Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the men's room.
And away we go. Welcome to show number 2,893. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, 3 Ted Smith, Robin Fox, and my cock, Montgomery. Are in the men's room. On tap today is the drunk in charge. Ryan Castle's into Sit and Spin. And today, Ryan brings in rock's most repetitive songs of all times.
Times.
As the men's room is back and ready to play Profile This. Plus headlines, the men's room shot of the day, fun listener emails, and everyone's favorite TV Time with Ted.
Click, clack. Drink it drunk.
All right, here we go. Indiana man on Facebook Live arrested after pouring flour on a 68-year-old woman's head. Meanwhile, St. Louis woman tells the cops that selling meth is hard, but you gotta make that bread. Woman jailed after video shows 3 small children smoking a blunt. Meanwhile, another man is arrested for shooting a ghost he was attempting to hunt. And Florida couple's house has a drive-through drug window, which you gotta admit is pretty handy. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. Let's just get to it. A 35-year-old man in Scotland. He was just sentenced to 3 years in prison for using, and I quote, a flesh and blood prosthetic willy, as they say there, on 2 separate women. Now, the issue was that he convinced them that it was his real penis, but it was not his real penis because he does not have a penis. More on that story in a bit. Now, I've never not wanted my penis, but if my penis ever got stung by a stingray, I might change my mind. Happened to a guy in China. Believe it or not, the barb from the tail of a stingray went through his bathing suit and, as they say, hooked into his genitalia. He had to walk onto the beach with the stingray and lay there until help could arrive. There's a guy in England. He just got a 6-figure settlement after he contracted some kind of flesh-eating superbug. He got this after routine surgery, and the problem is that it ate most of his, that's right, you guessed it, his penis. Oh, don't worry. Listen, ladies, you're in the act, too. It's not just guys having all the fun. There's a woman in England. She also contracted a different flesh-eating bacteria. Her case, the flesh around her mossiest of cottages literally rotted away. Good times. And, of course, people's backsides, they're also under news. Doctors in Italy, they had to invent a tool so that they could remove a 2-foot sex toy from a guy's rectum. So look, here's the thing. You do you, but sometimes things go wrong in the undercarriage. You understand? Sometimes things go wrong south of the border, your naughty bits, the area of your gilly. Well, today, Gilly Island. I just know it's the area, not sure what the Gilly is. But today we want your story. Today's question, what was your concern about what was going on downstairs?
Be part of the big show. Call 844-999-HOLA. You can like The Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send those emails to themensroom@mensroomlive.com. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Hola, Pacholas, and away we go. Welcome to show number 2,893. What a large and charge program we have for you today as the Drunk at Charge is back. Ryan Castle will be in to Sit and Spin, and today Ryan will bring in rock's most repetitive songs of all times. These are the songs that get stuck in your head simply because the artists, basically they just say the same thing over and over and over again throughout the entire song.
Oh, thank you, Ryan Castle, in advance.
Yes. Okay, let's, here's a prime
example. Are these songs that people like, or is it just songs that are going to annoy us?
Well, there's a little bit of both involved, because pretty much the lyrics are so simple on these songs and they're so repetitive that that's all you know. And that's why you get hooked in. Like, for example, Bobby McFerrin. Don't worry. Be happy. All right?
Nobody asked for an example. Nobody wants an example of an earworm.
Well,
what's an example of cyanide?
The whole song is, don't worry.
God damn it.
Be happy now. And he goes back and goes, don't worry. Be happy. That's all he says. The entire time. Right. It's the same thing.
And now it's going to be stuck.
And over and over and over again. And that's why they get you.
So some of these songs, your rent is late.
Yeah.
Go home and masturbate.
I'll tell you, I'll give you
Don't worry.
Yeah.
That's what he
says.
says.
With some different stuff. Yeah, exactly. I'll give you a perfectly good example. And here's one on the list, just so you get an idea. Hey Jude from the Beatles. Iconic classic song. Mm-hmm. As Ryan would say, you have 2 minutes of basically an actual song, and then you have 4 minutes of na, 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 and then it fades out. And that's great if you're working an AM station and you're trying to time into the CBS hourly news at the top of the hour. But other than that, because you can fade it, but no one else cares. Like it's, it's one of those songs. Like it's just repetitive over and over and over and over and over. It's kind of like,
I feel like if you're a kid and another kid made that sound to you, think about it, right? Na, 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 na. You would, because that's a nagging sound, but Paul McCartney found a way to take one of the most nagging sounds on earth and make you sing it.
Sure, it's like this movie.
Na, 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 na. And think what the Beatles are even saying. It's like, F you for listening. You're going to keep listening to this.
It's like
That's actually kind of
great. When you go to a concert and your band makes one of their songs like 15 minutes long and the song was like 3 minutes, and eventually they're like, all right, guys, we all know you're great musicians. Right. We all know you can play. You don't need to put on a frickin' showcase for each one of you through this thing. You know?
Right.
Or like, we just want the thing to end.
People still do that?
No. Well, I mean, certain
like
bands
in the 70s,
yeah, I mean, if you got one band, if you got one song, I mean, they come out and they hang on to that thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes they'll come out and play it at the beginning and in the end.
Well, I mean, I feel like if you grew up like in the 70s or 80s with rock music, if you went to a concert, then for sure everyone in the band got a solo. To the point where the rest of the band left the stage.
Well, they had to go back and use the bathroom, get some water.
But when the band leaves the stage, that's when you know this solo's going to take a real long time.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't it Ace Frehley who said that he would go back and he knew during Beth, it was a solo song that Peter Criss did it behind a drum kit, and he and Ace Frehley liked to do a bunch of cocaine.
Right.
And so Frehley would purposefully get in his view and sit there and just do hog legs. Oh, Peter Criss is singing this love song like, son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to go over there, but he never got his chance to go off stage.
Right.
Because, he was...
Well, Tommy Lee would do some long solos at crew concerts. Like,
absolutely.
Oh, yeah, spin around.
That's what I mean. All that rock. But do bands still do that? Is that a thing? Not jam bands, not if but I'm just saying regular bands.
I'm sure that Lars will go on a solo every once in a while, but I mean that's an older band. Metallica's been around forever. They are a classic, rock.
He didn't do a solo though, did he? We just saw.
Oh, I mean, he beats. Yeah, I mean, depending on what you want to look at, it's not as over the top.
He feels longer than it needs to.
It's not like going to Carlos Santana or something where it's just like, oh God, when is this going to end? Jesus Christ, you're killing me. It's not one of those, but...
Yeah, I mean, you're right, because I see a lot of jam bands, so I see them do it. But,
but they're a jam band, like, you know what you're getting into, man.
I mean, even jazz picks up for crying out loud. You know what I mean, guys? Like, jazz is better than this.
Right.
Come on. So anyway, we've got rock's most repetitive songs of all time coming up. Ask the Men's Room is back. We'll drink and toast with a shot of the day. And another round of Profile This. And today we're going to talk about your genitalia, your downstairs area. And we always say this, you can have all kinds of problems. Typically... If something is going wrong with your mouth, there will be a very short period of time for you to try to get in because it's just annoying. You've got to eat, you've got to drink, you actually use this thing.
Right.
That's one that'll, for the most part, get your, to call somebody. But man, I'm telling you what, when there's something going on downstairs, you could have
doctor,
which you believe is walking pneumonia. Like you've self-diagnosed yourself, you've gone to WebMD, you've Googled pictures of stuff, you've done everything that you possibly can to avoid going to the doctor. But, like I had some, like, man, I think, all right, we in the tree?
Sure.
All right, we in the tree? Okay, so we have a shower at work in the building, right? And
do we want to know this?
Well,
the fact that it starts in this building, I'm just like, oh no.
All right, we have a shower in the building, right?
In the gym.
In the gym, correct. And I don't have...
just a random shower.
No. It's not like, hey, here's a shower. And so when I work out, I take a shower in there. Now, at first, I wasn't really prepared for the gym shower, and whatever. So I didn't have any flip-flops. Okay, now eventually I started noticing that I was getting this fungus in the bottom of my feet. Or whatever.
Oh, yeah. See, we don't want to know that.
I know that. We're in the tree, though. No one's listening. So I go to WebMD.
So apparently we're in the tree. I'm going to tell you things you don't want to hear.
Exactly. And then I realized that I have, athlete's foot.
But what does it look like? Was it just a feeling? Or
Sounds like you need some tough actin Tinactin.
And that's what I bought today.
Yeah.
I bought some tough actin Tinactin.
I've had the athlete's foot.
I'm going to rub down my feet when I get home tonight. You know what I mean? But I'm not going
You
to
hear
the
that,
doctor.
ladies? Here's your opportunity to rub down Miles' infected feet.
Want to come over and hang out? I'll make popcorn.
Slather my feet.
God, man, every time I come in with a bag from Bartell, I just shake my head like, what is going on? Anyway, but I self-diagnosed. Now my feet start to get worse, whatever. Then eventually I'll call the doctor. But
did you get flip-flops into me? Did you
I did
piece
get flip-flops.
together
Yes, I got
with
flip-flops.
the? Okay.
I brought the flip-flops in, but I still need to take care of what I believe to be athlete's foot. Anyway, so but we know the genitalia. Man, you will call a doctor immediately. There are Zoom clinics you can go to. It's insane how fast you will get in to one of these places.
We universally care, unless you have done it to yourself and you're embarrassed. So there was a story a couple of months ago. Somebody put something in that place that they shouldn't have put it, couldn't get it out, and they waited 2 weeks. Actually, because they didn't want to go to the doctor. Yeah. Because, listen, when something gets stuck in your rectum, everyone knows you put it there. And in the end, just you do you. But don't bother to lie to the doctor. Somebody said they sat on a lamp naked. That's how the light bulb got there.
Mm-hmm. Right? Million one shot, Doc. Million one shot.
Come on. Just be honest. Say, hey, man, I tried it out. It didn't work. I need your help. But don't wait 2 weeks.
For some reason, there's a flurry of activity in the downstairs area news. Here's one. A UK cancer patient who lost all but an inch and a half of his penis to a flesh-eating infection, leaving him unable to have sex, is being compensated to the tune of 6 figures. That's right. If you lose everything but an inch and a half of your penis, you're entitled to a 6-figure settlement in the UK.
What about the poor guy that only has an inch and a half and he's broke?
Exactly. The undisclosed sum was awarded to Andrew Lane, who is 63. He contracted necrotizing fasciitis after his bowel was punctured during surgery to remove his prostate gland.
Damn.
Undetected for 6 days, according to lawyers, the complication left Lane with an inch and a half of his penis and a bulging stomach, as affected muscle in that area then had to be removed. I can't bear to look at it in the mirror. He says he feels less of a man. And you can understand that. If you had a penis, and now you're like, I don't think you understand. You know what I mean? Like,
I think they're saying inch and a half erect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
let's say flaccid, you're about an inch and a half, 2 inches, right? So this guy now, in his best moment, when he's super excited to see you, it's an inch and a half.
My wife and I have been together for a lovely 18 years and enjoyed a healthy sex life. But since this happened, that has been impossible. The desire is still there, but the little, that's left.
When they play Monopoly, does he have to be the thimble?
Jesus.
You made me the thimble again.
Your penis is too small.
Oh, don't worry, I'll still be the iron. Yes. As part of the July settlement with the South End University Hospital. Again, as part of the settlement with the South End University Hospital, the Essex Hospital admitted to failures in relation to delays in Mr. Lane's diagnosis. Basically, they admitted that, yes, they were at fault. However, they also want people to know how dangerous this flesh-eating bug is. Our question, what was your concern about what was going on downstairs? 844-999-OLA.
Miles, before we get to the calls real quick, some comments have come in for you. It says, one person says, all you have to do is pee on your feet, Miles. Get rid of athlete's foot. More specifically, it says, get the expensive Lamisil. It only takes a week compared to 4 weeks. So is yours...
Oh, that's 4 weeks. Okay,
the stuff you bought, I think they're saying is 4 weeks.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to help you out, brother.
Okay.
I was just like the spray.
But remember, again, ladies, here's your chance. Massage Miles' feet.
Yeah.
Get in.
Hello.
Antifungal cream and your fingers.
Finger licking good. Mm-hmm. Hello, Phil. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey.
Hola.
Hola. So, my moment of concern was when I dropped a 140-pound chunk of steel on the tip of mine.
Ow! Sorry. Ooh. On the tip, just the tip.
Yeah. Well, I was carrying a big chunk of tube steel in my arms, and I went to throw it up on my workbench, and somehow it slipped underneath there and landed right on top of it and pinched through the side of it. So it looked like a big bird's beak on the side.
No.
Follow your nose.
Okay, did you lose any of it?
You can't say.
No.
Did it just flatten it out?
What's that?
Did it just flatten it out? Okay, like, so your penis is flaccid, all right?
Right.
I mean, how much?
We assume.
How much pressure can it take one way or another? Like, like we talked about.
I think it'd be better
having
flaccid,
having your hand run over by a tire. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like on a car. Like, I mean, right, it would be better flaccid. So how much pain are you in?
Oh, it was excruciating. I couldn't figure out what to do. I stood up, I'd sit down, I'd stand up, I'd sit down, I'd go for a walk, I'd go out to the car, I'd come back, I'd stand up, sit down. It was so bad, and I didn't even want to look at it. It took me about 2 hours before I could even actually get up the nerves to go into the bathroom and look at it.
And how bad was it?
Wait. You had not even thought about calling a doctor yet?
No.
I feel like if there's anything on my body that I don't even want to look at because it's that bad, I should probably also get help, right? So you finally go into the bathroom, and what do you see?
It looked like it looked like a bird's beak off the side of it. It pinched all the way through, and it basically a pinch flat, like on your bike tire. It popped a hole right on the side of it.
Oh,
wow.
Okay, how long did you go to the doctor?
I never did.
Oh,
What?
This is not a concern of
Wait
yours.
a minute. What is your next course of action? Listen,
you got this?
Again, I don't know this to be true. I've never been in a situation where I looked at my own penis and thought, wow, that reminds me of a bird's beak. But if I did, I think I would instantly want to see a doctor. So you let this go. How long? What's the first thing you do? Do you wrap it up? Do you go home? What is your course of action?
I went home and cleaned it with some peroxide and all that, and then just wrapped it up for a little while.
Oh, yeah, just Googled, how do I take care of my penis after it gets smashed by a hot steel?
What do you wrap your penis in? That's the thing. Not Band-Aid.
Ace bandage. Ace bandage and gauze.
And how long did it take to heal?
Oh, it was probably a month and a half before getting an erection didn't hurt it and tear it open anymore.
Oh, dang.
Man. Jesus.
Oh, boy. Okay.
And you didn't see a doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you imagine?
This is why we need free health care.
Could you imagine? Yeah, I was going to say, could you imagine if you came to this country and you were here just for a couple weeks? You know what I mean, you think this is one of the greatest countries in the world, and then somehow you listen to our show and you realize that people are scared to death to go to the doctor just because they don't want to pay for it because it's so expensive. Like, look, we're lucky enough to be able to have health insurance.
I still don't want to go to the doctor.
It's still one of those things where it's still they find a million ways to get.
Oh, we don't cover that.
Oh, not this year. No, I don't know if you've been to the physical lately, but get ready because they just
kind of a way to stay healthy is go get a physical.
Yeah, they can't just send.
That's all you, dog.
That's right. Exactly. Like it's like all right.
Go see your doctor once a year. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's gonna cost you, player. It's gonna cost you, but you're gonna die if you don't give me that money. But that guy, think about that, man. My penis got smashed where it looks like a bird. It looks like a bird's beak. Just go to the doctor.
We have had multiple conversations trying to figure out where is the fine line between calling an Uber and calling an ambulance.
There's Uber.
These are real conversations we're having. We're not just making
broken bones, Uber, heart attack stuff. On ambulance.
Honest to God, only and seriously because
will you die before you get to the hospital? If the answer is yes, you call an ambulance. If it's just pain, call Uber. Right. Mm-hmm.
And these are real conversations. This is not a joke. I mean, if you put this on in a different country, like, these funny Yanks. What was your concern about what was going on downstairs? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, John. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
So one night I'm taking a shower and I was shaving and I noticed about halfway through the shower, just got done shaving, noticed a couple drops in the drops of blood in the shower. Okay, no big deal, not the first time I cut myself. So
he's got scars all over himself, ladies. That's right, scab scars you got.
Yeah, that's right. And so I hop out the shower, and then wipe off the mirror from the steam and check on my face, and I don't see anything. And I'm like, okay, that was just kind of weird, whatever. So go about my business, drying myself off, and all of a sudden I look down, and there's kind of like a stream of blood just coming out my tip.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, you took the top right off.
It wasn't just a little drip drop either. I mean, it was flowing like, I was so surprised. I just stood there in disbelief for probably about 5 minutes just trying to figure out what to do.
What did you put a tourniquet on it? No, I mean, you applied direct pressure, I'm sure.
I stopped as much as I could with the towel, chalked the towel up to a loss after that. Went to the doctor shortly thereafter. They said they had no idea after all sorts of poking and prodding, so I definitely didn't feel any better after that. They said they had no idea what it was, and then about 2 days later, just poof and gone.
Okay.
Okay, that's uncomfortable.
That is intense.
By the way, as the comments roll in, I'm going to read them as they come.
Okay.
Why in the Christ did you choose this topic? I don't know if I can finish this show. Take that story. I'm hurting just listening to it. Mm-hmm. That's your first story? Right, they're still coming. I love you guys, but I don't know how long I can listen to stories like these. That was preceded by, I don't know if I'm going to be able to listen to your show all day today. I already almost threw up listening to that man talk about dropping steel on his penis.
What about this one from Twitter?
Oh, yeah, what do you got?
This is a bad time to admit that I'm a little squeamish. Today will test me, and that is sent out by Mike Hawk.
So listen, to everyone complaining, I want you to understand something. After that first story went by, I had this feeling, oh no. Oh no. So yeah, you can tune out. We're stuck here.
Hey, man,
we got to listen to all of them.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you a heads up on a couple more headlines we got coming up. This from the Irish Sun. Okay.
Aye, matey.
That's going to sting. Eye-watering moment. A lad is stung on the willy by a stingray during a trip to the beach.
On the willy.
Man with no penis jailed for using flesh and blood prosthetic. More flesh-eating STDs allegedly reported in England. Doctors had to invent a tool to remove a 2-foot love toy from a man's colon. And a couple couldn't conceive for 4 years. Turns out he was having sex in the wrong place. That's all coming up.
You've been warned.
Yeah. What was your concern about what was going on downstairs? 844-999-OLA. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
31-year-old guy. And, oh boy. Oh man. I don't even want to say the name of this country. Holy cow. Help me out there for a minute.
Hold on.
That is not what I thought I was going to say. And then I read it again.
No. It's in Italy. It's the name of the city.
Oh. What's the name of the city?
You say it.
No.
Come on,
I'm not going to say the name of the city.
I'm pretty sure it's phonetic.
Right, let's just go through the story, and I'll come back and I'll try to say the name of the city. A 31-year-old man in Italy went to the hospital recently with a serious problem. You see, this fine gentleman had been getting it on with a 2-foot-long adult toy, and it got lodged in his colon. He spent a day trying to get it out of there, and finally, when he couldn't get it to budge, he then went to the emergency room. Unfortunately, the doctors could not figure out how to get it loose either because of the, quote, smoothness and size. They could not get a good enough grip on it to pull it out. So they, believe it or not, they MacGyvered a tool to remove it, and they made a device that looks like a small wire lasso or noose. And they were able to grab it. You can imagine what they're trying to get a hold of.
Yeah.
And they were able to cinch it around that top part there, and they yanked it free. The guy was discharged later that day without any permanent damage. Thank goodness for him. And,
they call that the Wrangler move.
And this is in, Ted, you want to try to say the name of that Italian city?
LaGuardia.
I'm not sure. But
That's pretty good. That was like LaGuardia Airport. Yeah. That was the right way to go.
That's very smooth.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's the way to do it, man. Good call.
I'm fluent in Italian.
What get out of here. What was your concern about what was going on downstairs? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Scott. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, boys.
Hola.
All right. Well, I've got a bit of this story I haven't told in a really, really long time. Mm-hmm. So I was in high school, about 17, 18 years old, and I was over at my girlfriend's house, and we were doing what 17 and 18-year-olds do.
Yeah, I got that call this week.
Yeah, well, let's just say that this woman left a very indelible mark on my memory for all time. She was as enthusiastic in the sack as she was pretty.
Okay.
And
somehow I'm picturing this ugly woman who's bored with you.
I'm just going to lay here and let you take me.
I'm going to eat beans.
Oh, treat me like Elvis.
Enthusiastic.
Cover me in peanut butter.
So she's on top, and she's doing what she's doing. And it was getting a little rougher, and then all of a sudden I felt a pop and then pain.
Oh, no.
That seems to be the common... Well,
Did she break your penis?
One of the more common stories as far as how that happens.
Yeah, so immediately I pushed her off, and I'm just grabbing my better bits as as lovingly as I can in that given moment, and which of course she's very, very concerned, and then the black and blue starts.
Oh, how quickly does that set in?
Well, in my case, it's just the blue.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you, other than the bruising, I mean, when that happens.
And black and blue, by the way, makes purple eventually.
It does, right? It really does. And a terrible band from the 80s. Did you, was it visibly crooked?
No, it wasn't visibly crooked. I mean, it still seemed okay, a little bit of swelling, and then, but the color, it didn't take real long for the color to start setting in, which, of course, she was extremely fascinated by.
I bet you were. Oh, yeah. Awesome. It's like when you break a glow stick, you know what I mean, and it comes alive.
I think it was like tie-dye.
Right.
You know?
But, so did you go to the doctor? I'm hoping.
No. I did not go to the doctor because I could not for the life of me sort out how to go to my parents and say, so my girlfriend and I were having
sex. If you break your penis, listen, man,
side talk.
As a parent, I'm going to tell you, right, if my son comes to me and said that I was in the act of killing someone, I broke my penis, I'll be like, you did the right thing, you'll get in trouble later.
Okay, listen, I'm going to do this now. We're going to ask, we've had three callers, correct? Is that correct?
Something like that.
Two have stated in very serious situations that they did not go to the hospital. So we're just going to say, we're going to start keeping a tally here of the people who've gone through obviously very traumatic experiences, the percentage of them that did or did not go to the hospital, and why. And what was the real reason why they didn't go?
Right. And in your case, I get it. You're 17, you don't want to tell your parents.
Exactly.
That's still goddamn ridiculous. But
I would tell my parents.
How long did it take for everything to get back to normal?
It started feeling okay after about 2 or 3 weeks, but I wasn't ready to get back into action for about another month.
Okay, that's where you and I are
too bad Facebook isn't around now to share those memories. You know what I mean? Like
5 years ago.
Let's go back 25 years. Remember that one time? Are you guys Facebook friends? The woman who broke your penis?
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, okay.
The woman who broke your... Some women break your heart. This woman broke my penis.
They wouldn't let me put that song on the record, though.
Why'd you guys break up? She broke me.
Achy breaky penis. All those songs.
Mentally and physically, she broke me.
I had 100 of them.
You're a penis breaker.
What was your concern about what was going on downstairs?
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.